Hey guys, I'm Liz, and today I'm gonna come out. So my coming out story started when I was in the 6th grade, and I got super into a TV show that had just come out.
Disclaimer, I'm not going to mention the TV show or any of the character names because I don't want people to come for me down in the comments.
I got so into it, in fact, that I created a fan account for it, and it was a Twitter account dedicated exclusively to this show. And I didn't really know what ships or OTPs were, and I wasn't really particularly invested in any particular characters, so I just kind of went ahead and searched the name of the show and started following accounts. And that was fine, it worked out for me. But as it turns out, I ended up having placed myself in the middle of one of the biggest lesbian ships on the internet in one of the biggest communities of lesbians on the internet, completely by chance. So that's fine, it's dandy, I'm chilling. I got into the ship a little bit. I wrote about them, I tweeted about them, I screamed about them from mountaintops, you know, casual fan stuff. And I slowly sort of came to the realization that, like, if it tickled my fancy, lesbians exist. And, like, I could be one if I wanted. And I didn't think that I was gay at this point, but it was sort of the first time that it had really come to my attention that it was a thing. So now we're at 11th grade. Oh boy. So at this point, I still hadn't come out to my parents, but I had very much come out to my friends, and gay was my brand, essentially. Now, I'm sure I'll make a whole video about my parents at some other point, but essentially, when I decided to come out to them, we had never, ever spoken about anything about the LGBT community ever in our household. I had no idea where they stood, I didn't know where their feelings were, didn't know how they felt about having kids that were gay, I knew nothing. So when I decided to come out, I had no idea how they were going to react. So naturally, being the dramatic little shit that I am, I took all of my savings, I packed a bag with a couple of outfits and a hair tie, and I wrote my parents a letter and left it when I went off to school one day. I taped it to our front door, assuming that my brother would see it when he left after me to go to school. And then he didn't. And then our contractor, who was renovating our kitchen at the time, found it instead. And don't ask me why I wrote my parents, like, actual names instead of just mom and dad on it. But I did, so he saw this note with my parents' names on it, and in his mind, the logic was, oh, they left this for me, and he opens it. And it wasn't for him. So I had gone to school. The letter essentially said, hey, mom and dad, this isn't a suicide note, so we can take that off your conscience. I'm bi, but I mostly like girls, and I'm not really into guys, but I'm bi. Let me know if you don't want me to come home tonight. I'm prepared if you do, so don't worry about that. That's essentially what this letter stated. So I was in first period, I got called out, I had forgotten about a doctor's appointment, that's what my parents told the school. They brought me to a Starbucks, bought me Starbucks, told me to come home that night, and sent me back to second period. And that was the last time we ever talked about it ever. So now I'm going to jump into what happened this past summer. So I don't know what you guys do when you're driving back from family vacations, but I psychoanalyze myself and send myself into repetitive crises. So we go to the Outer Banks, so it's a 12-hour drive from North Carolina to New York. So I have a lot of time to look internally. So I did, and I realized that I don't objectively see people as sexy, and I don't really think about people that I'm attracted to in the same way that a lot of other people do. I'm really weird about how I'm attracted to people. And so I started doing some research, and I was like, what is this thing? How am I feeling? Do other people experience this? I just wanted answers, because I do strive to accurately understand myself, because I think that's a lot of how we come to understand each other, is if we understand ourselves. So at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, I realized that I'm on the asexual spectrum. So after all that, today, I identify as a sex-indifferent asexual lesbian, if that's even a thing. Seeing as I'm currently a sophomore in college, It's taken a minute to get here. It's been a lot of identifying, re-identifying, unidentifying. And if we're being completely honest, I still don't know if I have accurately identified myself. This is what I feel is most accurate in this moment, but that doesn't mean that that won't change tomorrow or a week from now or a year from now or 20 years from now. Yeah, so that's my story. If you're out there watching this and you're going through something similar, the exact same thing, just your own questioning phase in general, and there's anything you're going to take away from this video, I just want you to know that it does get better and you will figure out who you are, and it's going to feel so amazing when you do figure it out. But don't feel like you have to rush it either. Don't feel like you have to figure yourself out today or tomorrow or even next week. It'll come in its own time, I promise. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and hit subscribe. I'm going to try and regularly upload. We'll see. This is video number 1. Yeah, have a nice day, you guys.